All right, today we're going to take a look at this alleged terror attack plot on DC. Let's go.
The suspected would-be bomber thought he was communicating with a co-conspirator, a new friend. Turns out it was an undercover member of the FBI.
His alleged intent was to attack the White House and other targets of opportunity in the Washington, D.C. area by using explosive devices, including an improvised explosive device, an anti-tank rocket.
The year-long investigation into Hasher Jalal Taheb began with a tip from someone who knew him, who told police the 21-year-old had become radicalized.
So they're saying that this Hashar Jalal Taheb had become radicalized, and someone in the community realized this. Well, how do you realize someone who's become radicalized? What does that mean? And how come it was so obvious to them? And then also they said he thought he found a friend to help him carry out this attack. I mean, what kind of person who would plot an attack would just trust anyone? Does that make sense? Let's go.
Details of targets, including the Statue of Liberty, were outlined in this criminal complaint. It says the Atlanta man planned to attack the West Wing of the White House, quote, to go in and take down as many people as they possibly could. The Washington Monument and the Lincoln Memorial were also on his radar. The FBI says Taheb...
So he was planning on taking out as many people in the White House as he possibly could, but then he also thought he would escape and be able to attack other landmarks in DC as well. How did he figure he would be able to escape after he entered the White House? Let's go.
Used an encrypted social media messaging app and code words in text to convey his intentions. Grocery shopping referred to the effort to amass weapons. Groceries was code for weapons. They say he used potato for ordered explosives. And they say when he wrote wanting to know how far the cooking oil spreads when the fries are cut, he was asking about the reach of his bombs. FBI agents say they...
So this is what they're saying that these code words meant? How do they know this? Where is the text transcript from these conversations? They don't show it.
Made the arrest in a parking lot in Georgia today after they say Taheb went to exchange a vehicle for some semi-automatic assault rifles and 3 explosive devices. Federal authorities believe he came up with this plot all on his own.
Following a major developing story, a plan...
And they believe he came up with this plot all on his own, yet he's telling everybody? Let's go.
And attack on the White House, Natisha.
And Ron, at the center of this terror attack, 21-year-old Hasher Taheb of Cumming. Now, what the FBI says, they arrested him tonight, but what they are saying is that he had been planning this for more than a year, not only to blow up the White House, but other Washington, D.C. sites. Ashley Johnson is live in Taheb's neighborhood tonight, where things look to be pretty calm right now, but earlier, just a couple hours ago, it was a very different scene. Ashley.
Natisha, that's right. Investigators were out here swarming his home behind me. The FBI wrapped up their raid just hours ago, but neighbors I spoke with say they're in shock as details of Taheb's plan laid out in this lengthy affidavit come to light.
We've all been living in the dark about it. We had no idea there was a concern.
The court document.
So his neighbors had no idea, but some community member was aware. And he told undercover agents about his plot? That don't make sense to me.
And spell out step by step 21-year-old Hasher Taheb's self-proclaimed defensive jihad. The FBI received a tip from a community member back in March. FBI undercover employees reached out after seeing he was selling his car. He thought all along they were fellow radicals, and that's how they got the inside scoop on his plan to carry out his...
Yeah, but how was he convinced that these people were radicals? How do undercover agents convince someone who's planning a terror attack that they're on his side?
Mission. The affidavit says he had a hand-drawn diagram of the west wing of the White House and planned to blow it up by using assault backpacks filled with explosives that could be set off by a cell phone. In messages he exchanged with FBI undercover operators, Taheb referred to the weapons as groceries and used code names like potato when referring to explosives. At one point, Taheb wanted to know the blast radius, asking how far the cooking oil spreads when fries are cut. His alleged plan was to blow a hole in the White House so his group could enter and take down as many people as possible. Also on his hit list, the Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial, and a specific synagogue. Court documents say Taheb's plan of attack.
How, if he's working alone, how did he think he would be able to hit all of these areas and not be killed? That doesn't make any sense.
Was set for tomorrow, January 17th. But today, when he met up to buy the weapons, undercover agents arrested him. And officials say all threats have been neutralized. Taheb's case will go before a grand jury.
All right, thank you so much, Ashley. And officials are making it clear to us tonight that all of Taheb's targets were in Washington, D.C. There were no plots to attack the Super Bowl that's coming up here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And
so they know there was no plans on the Super Bowl. It was all a plan to attack D.C. That's basically because they don't want to affect the funding coming from there, especially since the Super Bowl is being held in Atlanta, Georgia, and the suspected terror plotter was planning this in Cummings, Georgia. So, yeah, I don't know. Y'all can figure that one out. Doesn't make much sense to me. All right, y'all take it easy.